have an interesting story to tell you. Years ago, I was fired from a job. I had this great position in the Kansas City area doing dedicated runs up to Omaha, Nebraska and back. And it was great. I get hired, I go through the background checks, they ran my driving record. And of course, everything came back pristine, right? No accidents, I'm a good driver. But after scheduling orientation, I have my things packed, I'm ready to go. I get a message on my phone that says, "I'm sorry to inform you that you have failed the safety check and we have had to terminate you." I'm like, what? Greetings, children of the galaxy. Now you'll notice I didn't say my children. I personally believe the only one who is entitled to say that is our great and powerful leader, this guy, Trucks. At the same time, I can't help but feel that somehow, some way, the planets have aligned and the masculine, feminine powers of the universe have come together in a paradigm shift, bringing enlightenment to the masses. That being said, I did want to welcome all of our new cult followers. I absolutely love you guys. You have made the right choice, and I wish nothing but enlightenment and wellness to you all. So Trucker Style Shawn just did a video talking about how being a truck driver in America has changed over the years. If you're not subscribed to Trucker Style Shawn, definitely go give him a subscribe. I love his content. He is an owner-operator out of Florida. He has owned his own trucking company. This guy knows his stuff. One of the biggest points he raised back in the 1970s, truck drivers used to stick together. If there was an issue that we faced, if we weren't getting the pay we deserved, if we weren't being treated with the respect that we deserve for all the hell that we go through literally to keep this country moving, then we would just band together and stop running. I mean, the trucks are just shut down. Can you imagine today if the trucks just completely shut down? Like, America would stop moving. I still don't think the public realizes just how important the truck drivers are. He was making the point that you don't see that anymore. If somebody stands up and calls for all the drivers to stop moving, are they gonna do it? No, you might see a handful here and there, but you know, the point being, do truck drivers really stick together anymore? And I wanted to do a video to add some of my insight with this. Our industry has changed so much. And one of the ways it has changed is something called the DAC report. And I have an interesting story to tell you. Years ago, I was fired from a job. I had this great position in the Kansas City area doing dedicated runs up to Omaha, Nebraska and back. And it was great. I get hired, I go through the background checks, they ran my driving record. And of course, everything came back pristine, right? No accidents, I'm a good driver. But after scheduling orientation, I have my things packed, I'm ready to go. I get a message on my phone that says, "I'm sorry to inform you that you have failed the safety check and we have had to terminate you." I'm like, what? I have a pristine record, no criminal history. I'm like the ideal truck driver. So I give this company a call and I'm in shock. And they're like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. Your driving record came back with 6 preventable accidents. And no, we're not even going to talk about this." And I said, wait, we have to talk about this. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Did you guys not run my driving record? I'm like, where did you come up with 6 preventable accidents? Like, I don't get it. So they opened my file and they said, well, it showed up on your DAC report. Your previous company said that you had 6 preventable accidents, basically were a huge liability to the company. This makes no sense whatsoever. So they ran through my DAC report. I asked if they could provide me with a copy, please, because I do not, like, these accidents would have been on my record. So they started going through and they're like, They kind of acted like they didn't want to deal with me. So they pulled up my DAC report, went through, and sure enough, they go under mechanical breakdowns, which I didn't even realize they had a category for that on the DAC report. Why would you need mechanical breakdowns listed on your DAC report? What does that have to do with anything? I mean, in my case, this was when the DEF system first came out on these trucks, right? So, and if you guys had an International Pro Star at the time, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They broke down all the time. I think I was broke down 26 times in 1 year with this company. Like, I was broke down more than I ran because the stupid, brand new, mind you, International Pro Star, the DPF system was crap. It was like the first round of it and it never worked. And so anyway, I had all these entries. Well, apparently they put 6 of these mechanical breakdowns as preventable motor vehicle accidents. And when they read the details of it on my DAC report, and I have a copy of it, it said mechanical failure DPF system had to be towed from the shoulder of the highway. The only problem is they listed it in the category of preventable accidents, causing me to get fired from my job. So long story short, I ended up getting my job back after this. I convinced the safety department, barely, they almost hung up on me, to take a closer look at my record because it's clean. So I ended up getting my job back and getting this position. And as a result, I was able to contribute to the building of the flyovers that you see on the highway system coming into Omaha, Nebraska on 80 and 29. Because that's what I was doing, was hauling concrete, dry powdered cement from Kansas City up to the plants where they were making them for the trucks for the highway system. This brings me back to Trucker Style Shawn's video, and my point today is that we're in a position, and it's unavoidable, unfortunately. And you'll have to let me know in the comments what you think about this. Has it benefited the industry or made it worse? But how can drivers band together and refuse to run loads with their company when we have something like this DAC report that the moment you do, you're going to get failed loads on your DAC report. You're going to have notes on there from the company that the driver was uncooperative and caused our company financial damage because they refused to run freight. I mean, they can put these notes on your DAC report. And so how can, in this day and age, how can any driver band together or really stand up together and say, no, we're halting freight until something is done? You can't. You're going to lose your career. I mean, it would be career suicide at this point, unless you're an owner-operator. You know, if you have your own company, if you're an owner-operator, yeah, you can tell everybody to F off and do your own thing. But with owner-operators being only maybe 10%, I think is what I read. It's either 10% or I think it's 10% of the entire transportation industry is owner-operators. So out of, say, 30 million drivers, you're looking at maybe 3 million of that. I mean, 90% of the industry, you've got company drivers running this stuff that they would lose everything if they stood up and refused to run. So my answer to Shawn is that you're right. I don't think it's so much that the drivers are refusing to band together. I think it's more so, although I think there's an element of truth to that, I think it's more so that how can we stand together on anything, because we would lose everything that we have. You know, it's our families, our homes, and these days you're almost put in a position where we have a gun to our heads and we don't really have the stance that we need to be able to band together the same way that we used to. And so I guess my question to all of you is, tell me what you think. Have these tech advances with the DAC report, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? And I guess more so, should we have other avenues that we can band together and make a change in the industry? Maybe it's just that we have to evolve with the industry and come up with new ways to stand up for ourselves. There's something I heard years ago, my mentor said, it's something called evolutionary stable strategy. And the theory goes that it's not the strongest that survive, it is the most adaptable to change. And I kind of laugh because I think the transportation industry, I think truck drivers are probably the most unadaptable to change across the board. And maybe it's that we need to adapt to change, not necessarily just accept things that come our way or like the DAC report, but maybe it's that we need to be smarter. Maybe we need to come up with new ways to stand up for ourselves and make a difference in the industry. Anyway, that's enough for now. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Definitely go give Trucker Style Shawn a subscribe. I love his stuff. I actually talk to him every week or two on the phone, so he's a great guy. Definitely worth checking out, guys. Let me know what you think, and I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Love you guys.